How good do you sleep at night? This question for those my age, the boomer generation, which is 58 to 76, reports not so well. In this video, we look at specific reasons and the numbers behind those reasons. You'll want to watch to the end where I reveal the #1 reason I stay awake some nights until 3 a.m. And I am sure many of you do as well. Additionally, so do the participants in this survey. Be sure to look in the description and below for a handy one-page overview of this video. It spells out the top 10 reasons and what possibly you can do to correct some of the issues. All of this great information starts right now. These days, I find myself thinking about the future, about retirement. The thoughts are not much different now that I'm actually retired. I mentioned, some nights I'm up until 3 a.m. No amount of medication, and believe me, I have tried them all, can help me to sleep when retirement worries are keeping me up. I can strongly agree with the survey I'm about to present, but first, let me introduce myself. I'm Mark with Crypto for Seniors, where curiosity evolves into knowledge. That is my desire for the channel. Evolving into knowledge. What I found was, in a recent survey by Transamerica, over 10,000 American workers revealed the biggest fears of boomers aged 58 to 76. We're talking about real, practical concerns like outliving their savings, healthcare costs, and even ending up lonely and isolated. Folks, the fear is real, and I see it every day with those of our friends who are single. The fear is, in my opinion, even greater. So, let's roll up our sleeves and dive into the top 10 fears keeping boomers up at night. It's going to be a bumpy ride, so hang on tight. At number 10 on the list of boomer fears, we have the silent epidemic feeling isolated and alone. 17% of boomers worry about being socially marginalized and alone as they age. We're talking about the potential loss of friends and loved ones, the shrinking social circles that can come with retirement, and the physical limitations that can make it difficult to stay connected. Studies have shown that social isolation can have serious consequences for both our physical and mental health, increasing the risk of depression, anxiety, heart disease, and even premature death. By staying active, engaging in our communities, nurturing our relationships, and seeking out new connections, we can combat loneliness and stay connected to the people and things that matter most. Social isolation doesn't have to be an inevitable part of aging. Number 9 is finding meaningful ways to spend time and stay involved. Believe it or not, a significant number of boomers, 21% to be exact, worry about finding meaningful ways to spend their time and stay involved during retirement. After decades of defining themselves by their careers, raising families, and contributing to their communities, the prospect of endless leisure time can feel daunting. I can speak about this for myself. The first few weeks were horrible. I had this very active, high-stress position working as a corporate security manager for an international utility. Before that position, I was a highly trained personal protection agent working assignments with George Bush, Bob Dole, Coretta Scott King, Dr. Martin Luther King's wife, and Negro Hall of Famer Buck O'Neill. Literally, their lives were directly in my hands as the primary protection agent, assigned for protection when they visited my city, from getting them up in the morning to putting them down for sleep at night. I talk about those people because those were all public events. I was on camera next to them, so I don't fall under any non-disclosure. I'm not telling you about the senators or congressmen or CEOs of the top 100 companies I flew in their corporate jets with my team to protect. I love the high stress, and it was something I was good at. Lots of sleepless nights and planning. I had the high-paced life, and that first few weeks, it was hard. Damn hard to sleep. The thought of days filled with nothing but golf and watching YouTube can be unappealing, even anxiety-inducing. Retirement, for all its perks, can sometimes feel like a loss of identity, a void that needs to be filled. But retirement is an opportunity to reinvent yourself, to explore new passions, and to give back to your community in ways you never thought possible. Hence, this is why I started Crypto for Seniors, to bring some wisdom I learned along the way. Number 8 on our list of boomer anxieties, the fear of not meeting their family's financial needs. 21% of boomers worry about being a financial burden on their loved ones, about not having enough to help with a down payment on a house, a grandchild's education, or even just everyday expenses. The thought of becoming a financial burden, of reversing those roles, can be heartbreaking. They want to be a source of strength and support, not a drain on their loved ones' resources. 58 million people work for companies that don't offer any retirement savings plan. So typically those people either inherited money or they live off of Social Security in their retirement years, which is projected to be bust by 2032. What a nightmare. Having open and honest conversations about finances can help alleviate these fears. Not only are 20 and 30-something coming back to live with parents, but now parents are coming to live with their children. And listen to this, of the single homeless population, 40% are seniors. How did this happen? Coming in at number 7, with 25% of boomers worried about it, is the fear of inadequate and unaffordable healthcare. We live in the richest, most powerful nation on earth, yet millions of Americans, especially seniors living on fixed incomes, struggle to afford the healthcare they need. Remember, 58 million people have no benefits at work, so most have no healthcare. We're talking about sky-high deductibles, exorbitant prescription drug costs, and the constant fear of a medical emergency wiping out a lifetime of savings. It's a broken system that leaves many seniors feeling trapped, forced to choose between their health and their financial security. One incident can leave them broke of any savings they had. We need to demand better from our elected officials, explore innovative solutions to lower costs, and fight for a healthcare system that puts people before profits. We don't have to accept this as the status quo. Number 6 could come in at the top or bottom for most, but for this survey, it was losing my independence. For 27% of boomers, the fear of losing their independence looms large. They worry about becoming reliant on others for basic needs, about losing their mobility, their autonomy, their ability to live life on their own terms. As I said, many are moving in with their children or end up homeless because they can't afford or take care of themselves. We're talking about things we take for granted: driving, cooking, even getting dressed in the morning. The thought of losing that freedom, of having to rely on others for help with the most intimate aspects of life, can be terrifying. But aging doesn't have to mean surrendering your independence. It can be an opportunity to redefine what independence means to you. Coming in at number 5 is a fear that strikes at the very core of who we are: cognitive decline. Some people with family history feel this is their number one reason they stay awake at night, and rightly so. 36% of boomers worry about losing their sharp minds, their memories, their very sense of self. We're talking about diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia, conditions that rob you of your cognitive abilities, your independence, and ultimately, your identity. While we can't control everything life throws our way, we should try to take steps to protect our brain health by staying mentally active, engaging in social activities, eating a healthy diet, and exercising regularly. New breakthroughs are on the horizon, but will they become available for our lifetime or more likely our children's lifetime? Next up, at number 4, is the fear of long-term care costs, with 39% of boomers worried about how they'll afford specialized care if they need it. We're talking about the kind of care you might need if you're facing a chronic illness, a disability, or cognitive decline. The kind of care that can wipe out a lifetime of savings faster than you can say assisted living. We're talking about skilled nursing facilities, memory care units, round-the-clock assistance, with even the most basic tasks. The cost for these services are staggering. Ignoring the issue won't make it go away. If you are younger, consider long-term care insurance. The sooner you start planning for the possibility of long-term care, the more options you'll have. At number 3 on our list of anxieties that keep us up at night, we've got Social Security cutbacks. 42% worried that their benefits will be slashed or the program will vanish altogether. Social Security has been a lifeline for generations of retirees, providing a safety net to help them enjoy their golden years. But these days, the future of Social Security feels about as certain as the weather in a hurricane. We hear whispers of insolvency, political gridlock, and a growing gap between what's being paid in and what's being paid out. We need to demand transparency from our elected officials and explore solutions that ensure this vital program remains solvent for generations to come. Coming in at number 2 on our list of boomer nightmares is the fear of home care costs. This is where you age in your home, bringing in skilled nursing or family depending on your needs at the time. Again, this could be for basic functions like getting dressed, bathing, food prep. 46% worry about footing the bill later in life. We all want to stay in our homes as long as possible. It's our sanctuary, our comfort zone. But what happens when daily tasks become too difficult? That's where home care comes in. Quality home care isn't cheap. It can cost thousands a month. Planning ahead is key. Again, long-term healthcare insurance would help, but it isn't the total answer here. Investigate your options early, ideally in your 20s or 30s. Alright, here's the number one reason that keeps 58 to 76-year-old up at night. I can only speak for myself and my wife. This, I agree, is the number one in our life as well, so it comes as no surprise. We have saved our whole life, put any extra money into our retirement, and frankly, we could take any trip we wanted. Pay cash for a new car, buy a second home if we wanted to blow through our money. But this single number one reason is exactly what keeps us watching for deals at the grocery store, on a level payment plan on our utilities, driving a few extra blocks to get a better price on gas for our vehicles. Well, I'm not going to make you wait any longer. Here it is. Topping the charts at number one, with 51% of boomers worried about it, is the fear of outliving their savings. This reason keeps me looking at the part-time positions to earn that extra mad money, the side hustles, or some call it beer money. You work hard, save, and dream of a relaxed retirement. But what if your money runs out before your time does? Tough choices like cutting back on medication or skipping meals become real. Even for people like me who are at my projected amount needed to successfully retire, the cost of living keeps climbing. Housing, healthcare, even groceries, it all adds up. The fear of outliving your money is real, but not insurmountable. Understand the challenges, explore your options, and take control of your financial future. Remember those 58 million people? What do you think they will do? I know two women personally from my old part-time job. One is in her 70s and the other in her 80s, still working 20 to 30 hours. Sadly, they will be working just to survive until they get sick and pass away. Look, I'm not gonna lie, folks, some of these fears are daunting. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that the annual inflation rate increased by 3.3% in May compared to the same time last year. Since 1971, the U.S. dollar has lost 87% of its purchasing power. 87%. What is wrong with this picture? How did we let this happen? Northwestern Mutual's 2024 Progress and Planning Study found that adults expect they need $1.46 million in savings to retire comfortably. But let's be brutally honest here. This is the minority of Americans. Most are struggling in their retirement just to pay the utilities. This is an increase of 15% from last year. But here's the good news, we don't have to face them alone. By acknowledging these fears, having open and honest conversations, and exploring our options, we can take control of our futures. Retirement can be a time of joy, fulfillment, and continued purpose. It all starts with facing our fears head-on and building a brighter future, one step at a time. And the most important factor, having a budget no matter what your financial positions is in life and living within those figures. Then you don't need the sleeping medication. You will learn to sleep like I do now. Well, did you learn anything? Please post in the comments below and let me know. I am truly interested in your journey to retirement. Also, if you haven't already done so, please smash that like, and more importantly, subscribe to the channel. I would love to bring you more videos like this one. Remember, nothing contained in this video is financial advice. Seek professional help in developing a plan that fits your needs. Take care of yourself and those around you. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.